Please let him sing opera. Yeah. Now, people often ask me, if you were to do your own episode of Voyager, or to write your own storyline, what would it be? I said, okay, that's pretty easy. The scene where Ensign Kim gets sucked out of the airlock, okay? That's when you have Duplicate Kim and Ensign Kim. Duplicate Kim survives, Ensign Kim is sucked out of this airlock, but Lana is sitting there going, Harry! And I'm doing this thing. Okay? And then she turns away, and then all of a sudden she's like, she says, she goes, Captain! She goes, Captain! She hits her comm badge. She goes, Harry's been sucked out of the airlock! Harry's gone! And it flashes to Janeway. She's on the bridge. We're in the middle of a battle, and everything's crazy, right? And Janeway's like, All right, so anyway, Chewbacca, what if they totally ignores the fact that Kim is dead, okay? And goes on with her business. And to this day, I should probably call Janeway up. You know what? Years ago, when you didn't care about me, what was that about? So, my episode would begin from the point that Ensign Kim is falling out into space. Off to the side, unbeknownst to Voyager, is a cloaked Borg sphere. The Borg sphere is monitoring everything, and they're going, they have ejected one of their own crew members, okay? They beam me over before I asphyxiate, okay? And all of a sudden, I'm doing this, and next thing you know, I'm in a Borg sphere, looking around. They come up, they Borgify me, I become Borg. They take me back to the Queen. The Queen realizes that this is Ensign Kim, who knows he's the operations and communications manager on Voyager. He knows everything about all the crew, about everybody on that ship, so that she grooms Borg Kim to be the head of a Borg SEAL team to extract 7 of 9, okay? 6 elite Borg fighters led by Borg Kim come into the ship, and as they walk on, first comes Tuvok down the hallway. Kim's like, Tuvok flies up against the bulkhead, crumples down in a heap, keeps going, Chakotay, knees him in the gut, knocks him out of the way. They're all trying to guard 7 of 9, who's now backing up, cowering towards a corner, afraid. Borg Kim coming up against her like that, you're heading back to the Borg Queen, and as I'm just about to get her, Ensign Kim, Duplicate Kim, saves the day with some type of MacGyver-like move, I don't know what, and trips up Borg Kim, saves 7 of 9, in which she looks at Kim and says, do you wish to copulate? How's that for no? Oh, God. That would make up for the fact that I said no to that question earlier, right? So, yes?
I have 2 questions. First off, early in the first season, Kim and Paris were talking about, okay, we suddenly have a shrinking pool of available babes aboard Voyager. And we're going to be out here, it's going to take us a long time to get back, let's act quick. And then, nothing much came of that, much never Paris. But, do you think that's something that they should explore? Because it's almost like after a while, they kind of forgot that they were 75 years removed from her.
Yes, I agree. I think there were a lot of moments on Voyager where you thought they were going to go one direction and they sort of just dropped, they were like, we'll revisit that at another date, and they never did. But yeah, that would have been awesome. But Kim and Paris had their fair share of fun. They did.
Especially on the...
Bye, Laura! Okay, so... They had their fair share of fun. They had the Delaney sisters and everything, but yeah, you're right. They should have explored that a little further. I agree with you on that.
The second question is, have you already shared at DragonCon the whole 7 of 9 ass-slapping game?
Have I No, I have not shared the 7 of 9 ass-slapping game, but I will share that with everybody here. As you brought that up. Not at all. It's very hard to do, unless you're an 8-year-old kid. How much money did you make? Do a karate move! That puts me on the spot, but your question's fine. Jerry Ryan and I had a very close tight relationship when we were working together. We would play this game where we would try to catch each other off guard. We would try to ambush each other. When the other person would walk by, we would try to come up and slap as hard as we can that person's butt. Either she tries to slap my butt, and I try to slap her butt, you know? And and she would get so good at defense. It was unbelievable. I would be hiding behind the stage door like this, you know, and she'd walk through to come to rehearsal. And as she's walking through, as I'm ready to get her, she wouldn't even look at me. She's reading her script like this, and she would take her script and block me like that. She was like, da da da, and I'd hit the script. I'm like, damn! Master 7 is too fast for me. I cannot snatch the pebble from her butt. She had eyes in the back of her head, okay? And when she got me good. I mean, she would hit me with such force. I would actually move up. I would fall 10 feet forward after getting hit by this woman. Unbelievable. But I felt honored because I was the only person to play that game. You know what I'm saying? Nobody else got to play that game, you know? The guys would do this thing, like this football thing. As a joke, we'd come up like Chakotay would come up to Paris, and he'd come up behind him, and you know how football guys always pat each other on the butt. So Chakotay would come up and go, "Hey Paris, nice job," like that. And he'd pat him on the butt. We would always do that, right? So Chakotay would pat Paris, Paris would pat me on the butt. It was just this whole butt patting family, okay? But the funny thing was, no one would pat Roxanne's butt because we were too afraid of her reaction. And it would be like school kids. I'd be like, "Robbie, go pat her because I'm not patting her butt. You pat her butt. I'm not gonna pat her butt. Are you kidding?" Because Roxanne was always in this funky mood for the first few years. What we did not know is she was trying to get pregnant, okay? And she ended up going through like a couple of miscarriages. So one day she would be pregnant and she'd be on the set and they would be pumping all this fake smoke in. She'd I can't take it. She'd run off. But she wouldn't tell anybody what was going on in her life. And the next day, they'd pump the same smoke, and she'd just sit there fine. She wouldn't say anything. So she kind of was like a bit of a loaded gun. So we didn't know what would happen if someone came up and said, "Nice job," like that. So we didn't do it. But if I did it in Sulu's voice, that probably would have worked. "Oh my, nice job." She would have giggled. Oh my God. We were doing this once, we were on the bridge, and most of the time, Balana was not on the bridge. She was in engineering. But one time she was sitting at one of the bridge consoles, and the director is like, he's like, "Action, okay? You're going through, you're hitting some turbulence, and bump." And what he was saying was just, you know, jolt. And she did it like she was in a car, like she hit his people, and bump, she went, whoop, like that. And we all went left, and she just went up. And I was looking at her going, "What the heck is that?" "Roxanne, you just went over a speed bump, okay? We just got buffeted by a tachyon beam, and you were doing this like that. You've been in engineering too long. You gotta know how to shake right, you know?" Which comes back to another story. If you can hold on one second. This is classic. So we finished the pilot of Voyager. It was a 31-day shoot, and then we get this letter. We have a three-week break after shooting the first episode. We all get a letter at home. It's a FedEx package. I'm opening it up. And there's a letter and a videotape in there. And I read the letter. It says, "Dear cast members of Voyager, my name is Kim Friedman. I am the director of the next episode of Voyager when you come back from your short vacation. I have directed many, many episodes of Deep Space Nine. After reviewing the pilot Caretaker, your pilot, I must commend you and congratulate you on the fine work that all of you have done. But I must point out one thing. None of you are shaking correctly." So, she then goes on to say, "I have included on this videotape clips of my episodes from Deep Space Nine with Deep Space Nine actors shaking correctly." Okay? Yes. She goes, "Please, when you, after reviewing the tape, go to your bathroom mirror and practice shaking, okay? Because the key to shaking is not to just bend over at the waist when the ship gets hit. That does not look realistic. One must shake from the center and then let the rest of your extremities shake with it, okay? And so she's getting all zen in this letter, right? And I'm reading this going, is this a joke? Is there a candid camera gonna pop out? And at the end of the letter, it's like, P.S. If after practicing in your bedroom, at your bathroom mirror, you still do not get the hang of it, feel free to knock on any of the Deep Space Nine actors' trailers to ask for a demonstration. At that, I was flabbergasted, and my first thought was going to Avery Brooks' trailer, like, he opens up, yeah. Yeah, Captain Sisko, could you shake for me?